Hello guys, welcome back to the RMD test track. That's what we just did here. Pretty good track that I created here. Track, it's not a track, we didn't do it on time, but it has some sharp corners, some hairpins, some elevation, some S corners. Starting on Roswell Escape and then sort of finish it up here on the long straight in Dallas towards the tunnel, where you can test top speed and such. From the new cars that came in with this update, Blazing Shots, these were more or less the 4 new cars. This 599XX in touring car is pretty good. What I've also, in case you haven't noticed it throughout the video, I have driven with exactly the same settings. That means gearbox on 10 to test top speed at the end. 10, 10, 10 here on the tire and the brakes. The suspension exactly the same for all 2, 3, 2, 4. Camber on 0, 0 and the anti-roll bars on 6, 5. I have done that for all of those cars, and I have also adjusted the brake balance going by the lowest number over here That's where we put the brake balance and the anti-roll bar going by the most towards the easy I could get it for the aero as well as for the diff. And that's sort of how we did it. Also the global settings 10, 9, 10, 10 on all 4 cars, so that they more or less have the same circumstances. Performance wise, also nitro chemostat with pure and extra pump, same set as well on the hypercars as is on this touring car. This touring car pretty good. From the hypercars I felt the Bugatti a bit heavy. Of course it is possible that you have to drive with different settings on these cars, but I decided to drive to test them the best compared to each other with the same exact same settings except for aero and brake balance. And yeah, a bit unstable, especially on those elevation corners. The Bugatti was a bit of a pain. The Porsche is not that bad. It feels a bit slow in general out of these cars that we tested here. And for sure from the hypercars, the best one feeling wise for me was the Citroën GT. Can get a pretty high top speed, it sticks to the road, it's pretty stable. My feeling at least was that I was going faster with that car through in the corners as it was. While with the Bugatti I had to be a bit careful here and there. Of course, yeah, what you also have on this track, that's more or less what it is, especially here at the end, yeah. Traffic will involve, that's why I did not do some sort of time attack or put a time on it. Of course, if we ever get a track creator, this is probably one of the first tracks that I will create, because it is has a bit of everything. Elevation, corners, and a long straight at the end to test the top speed. Pretty good for test up, and also easy to get there because you can fast travel to the Roswell Escape and then just do the track as I've done them. But in general, these 4 cars that they brought in, pretty damn good. I also know that the ones that they have adjusted, we might do another video on that, the Magma from the Devo and the Ferrari F12 TDF, and so also from those who have been adjusted, we need to test that as well, of course. And there is also a new king in town in such a way. This thing for a long time smoked everything and everybody in a touring car. But this thing has an extra slider here. Differential distribution. The Gallardo switched from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. And more or less, not gonna say it's a new OP touring car, but probably is. Leaderboard, if you check it, you will see a bunch of Gallardos beating McLarens in the activities, for instance. Something to test. This is become a little beast now that it has 4-wheel drive. Also something that I just drop in here. Other than that, we have to test the couple of street race cars and hypercars that they have adjusted. From what I hear, been following a bit on the I said competitive Discord server, and yeah, they are testing all over the place, of course, those guys. And in general, not that bad. That by that I mean the comments. Usually they are pretty critical, and this time, in general, overall around, a pretty damn good update. It has to do with driving, so yeah, that is even if you're not competitive and you just cruise around or so. It is way more grippy with these new cars, and the handling in general is just better. Also for keyboard, way easier to throw these cars around. The problem, of course, that we have at the moment is that yeah, we have these cars with the new cars, and then we have the adjusted cars with the new handling. That is all very fine. That is sort of beta version 2.0 that they are testing in a way. But I think it's pretty clear it is a pretty good handling. So my advice to them was that pretty simple. Next update, make it 3.0 and put that handling on the majority of the cars instead of those 10 that they have selected this time. because now we are sort of dealing with two handling models, one with the Beta 2.0, and all those cars are competitive. And then you have some other cars which still have the normal handling, although something like an Egoista and so are very much drivable. In street race, same story, also balance it out there a little bit more. Because also there, the adjusted vehicles have been around, resulting, where is it? If I can find it, I have too many cars. Wrong car. I think I probably in the beginning of the list, yeah, of course. Because this thing, not so much drivable before the update, now one of the better street race cars, if not the best. Competition for the Hurricane, for the Audi RS5 and so on. Mercedes SLS. I'll just drop it in here. I might do another video later on with these updated cars, let's call it that. This was just a quick test of the new cars. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.